Uh-oh.
Oh, you gotta blow yourself up, man.
Oh shit!
It's beer time with Beer Man.
That's right.
Good stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? How you guys doing tonight, today, wherever you're from in this beautiful world? Whoa, shit! I forgot to turn the volume down on my phone. Man, we got a great crowd here already. This is great. We have a great panel, of course. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Whisky Scout, Miscellaneous Magnets, Bumpy, Brewery, Thomas Metal 75. Just got done doing my last third one. I gave them beer. I gave them. Go check them out. Nina, we got Nina here. Nina Yorty. Check out her channel as well. Hopefully I called you guys by your official channel names, but sure. Go check them out. You're also in my description, so I linked you up. And past people as well are also there. I think I'm trying to think who is. I think Thrash Metal's in there and some others. So right on. So we're gonna go counterclockwise. And we'll start with Whisky Scout and go that way until you get to me. If there's anyone else that pops up, I'll go ahead and bring them on. Basically the same way that Bumpy Road Brewery does it on Multi Mondays. So let's go ahead and get started with Whisky Scout. Right on.
Well, what I got for beer is the North Coast Brewing Berliner Weiss Cranberry Kinks beer. I've had this before, but I forget the ABV and it's not marked on the dang bottle. And they do not have a date. But, oh yeah, they do on the very bottom. I can't read it. Some sort of... There's a bunch of dang numbers on there. Who knows? Anyway, that's my beer. Now, I can't show you a package for the Swiss cheese because somebody stabbed himself severely in the side of the finger earlier, cutting it up. So this is all I have left.
Wow.
And I still have a couple of little blood flecked ones just in case you're wondering. But that's the most I can cut off of it. So I got a little bit of cheese and a whole lot of beer. So that sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, good deal.
So
you got your money's worth there.
Yeah. Well, it's just Kroger brand. I didn't need to mention that. It's just a Kroger brand, just grocery store brand, Swiss cheese. That's nothing special. I had two options at the little grocery store I go to, and so I chose the Kroger. It's the least expensive. To me, Swiss cheese is Swiss cheese. It's not, I don't know. I don't know how to really, it's just Swiss cheese, So anyway, for the cheese, and it's got that milky funk is the way I like to describe it. Yeah. There's a lactose milkiness that you kind of get, but then there's a heavy funkiness. Now this is not aged. I don't think Kroger ages there, so it's not going to be as bad as probably some of the other more aged Swiss cheeses are. But I mean, you get that. There's a little bit of a salty note to it as well to me, just on the smell. On the palate, Swiss cheese is always a little bit of a more firm cheese. That's not a soft cheese. But that slightly firm milkiness that I get with it, it goes great with roast beef. A beef and cheddar is great, but I prefer Swiss cheese on a beef and cheddar, on a beef and cheese sandwich. It just kind of sticks with you. I'm not the best at descriptors compared to you other guys, and we kind of know that if we've reviewed past reviews on cheese. But I don't know how to describe that. Bumpy said it earlier, foot smells kind of like your feet, and he's right in a way.
Whoa.
It does. It also smells a little bit reminiscent of almost a sour barnyard hay. When you're out there and you're moving hay to go feed the cattle, you get down to the basic what's left on the bottom. Some of that turns real moldy on the bottom, and it just has a specific hay barn funk. This brings that hay barn funk.
That's so
With it.
flammable. It'll blow up on you.
No. But anyway, enough about the cheese. Let's try the beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, man.
Cheers.
Cheers. I forgot what it poured with. Head was. But it has a clear head still lingering around. Oh, nice, light. You get the cranberry. I don't get quince on this. I didn't get it the first time because quince or quince or however you want to say it does not have a lot of flavor to me. It's not something I pick up very much on my palate. But the cranberry shows up in spades. It's slightly sour. But that cheese is interfering with this beer. I should have tried the beer first.
All right, note taken.
Yeah, the cheese is more powerful than the beer here. In this case, it's a light, it's fruity style beer. There is a malty background to it, but it's so light. It's almost. I don't think this is a lager. It just says beer on it. Bumpy, what do they do with the Berliner Weisses?
Berliner Weiss?
Yes. Is it lager or ale? Do you know?
I think those are an ale.
Yeah, I think they're mostly ale. I'm not sure if you can do them both ways or not, but they're usually on the tart. They're usually kind of in the tart side versus completely sour. So,
yep. But it's very good. It's light in body, still effervescent, still giving bubbles up. Very drinkable. The cranberry and the tartness with the cranberry works well with the beer. And there's just, like I said, a little bit of a light malty note. I'm not really picking up a lot in the way of hops with this. It's almost like it's too fruit forward. The cranberry is very fruit forward on this, and it's between that and the cheese, it's hiding a lot of the beer note.
I gotcha.
So, but it's very drinkable. It's very good. So, anyway, let me think on it a while, and I'll come back with you with numbers for everything and how they work together.
All right. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it, Whiskey. All right.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. All right, Miscellaneous, man. It's all you. Your table.
All right.
It's your window.
All right. So the beer I brought tonight, guys, is by Boulevard. This is their Chillo Vibes. It's a sour cucumber ale. This is a Berliner Weissen.
Cool.
You see, what is this thing? This is 4.1. I'm trying to 4.2. Yeah, sour ale with cucumber. Very basic description. So let's go ahead and jump into this. All right. So, camera is misleading as always. This is, it's got a nice white head, tight bubbles. I wouldn't say it looks soapy. It's very, very tight. Would probably think they'll be receding fairly quick. Very effervescent. There's a lot of big bubbles shooting up from the bottom. It's got this real clear. It's like a lemony color, almost like a super light lime, like lemon Gatorade type of look. It's slightly cloudy. Let's go for the nose. All right, so on the nose you get that you get the sour, the Berliner Weissen sour ale smell coming off of it. It's not bad. There's a very fresh, light smell of, like, it smells like fresh cucumbers coming out of this. Other than that, really not too much to say. Let's go ahead and taste it. Cheers, yo.
Cheers.
Yeah. Sure fucking dirty glass here, boy.
Oh.
Oh, no.
All right, so as a typical Berliner Weissen, this is not as tart. I would say it leans more towards the sour side. The cucumber is very bright and vibrant. It's almost as if you ate like a fresh cucumber. It's got that really fresh cucumber taste to it. So yeah, pretty good. I like it. Like I said, it's not really that lactic acid type of sourness to it, but the cheese that I got, Amish country, Amish Swiss, cut from genuine Longhorn cheese, pasteurized, milk, salt, and enzymes. Not too much to it. So it's a big half moon block of cheese.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Whoa.
It does have a little bit of that foot funky. It's not too bad. I mean, I've smelled a lot more off-putting cheese than this. It is slightly reminiscent of the barnyard, but not real strong or pungent, overwhelming. So let's go ahead and taste this. It's creamy. It's rich. Very mild. You don't get any of that barney hay funk smell or taste coming through with it. Wow, that's pretty good.
Do you have an edge you could show off or some skin of that cheese?
It actually didn't come with the rind on it. That's it. It was a half
Oh.
moon, just like that. Wow, that's bright.
It is. It is.
Almost like a slight nuttiness to it. It's not salty at all by any means. Really mild. I'm glad I went with the Amish cheese. So see if the cucumber will play with it. Who knows? It's pretty good. Lightness of the cheese, the creaminess plays real good with the cucumber. It's like nice and light and balanced. It's not bad at all. Definitely gonna have to indulge some more. Maybe take a little notes, but not bad.
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome. Well, all right. This is so far looking somewhat good, right? Well, we have Bumpy Road next, and it is all you, my friend.
All right. So I'm going to take a note from Whisky Scout there and drink the beer first. We're eating the cheese because I also have something from North Coast Brewing Company, but this one is Brother Theonius. The Elonius. There we go. It's a Belgian style Abbey ale. It comes in at a 9.4% ABV. So basically, this is a strong Belgian ale. All right. It's got a kind of khaki colored, tight bubbled head. Color of the beer itself is that nice kind of amber coloration, and it is clear. The aromas on this kind of get a bit of like a plum, a little bit of a cherry nose. Sweet kind of candy smells in there. And a bit of a deep brown bread malt nose as well. All right. Smells okay. First swig. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Nice color.
Very, very rich with the malt. Very deep, like I said, deep brown bread malt flavor coming through. A little bit of some kind of cherry to very mild amount of like a darker fruit flavor, more cherry-esque. There is a slight bit of a metallic note that I'm picking up on. It's a little bit off-putting with this. But yeah, it hits you first up front, like very sweet. And then it finishes off with kind of herbal to earthy type bitterness to kind of balance out the beer itself. But yeah, there still is that kind of metallic note I'm picking up out of the beer. So there's that. The cheese that I have is from Boar's Head. It is imported Switzerland Swiss, aged for 120 days, which is not quite half a year. It's 1/3 of a year, actually. So we got that, and the I already have some cut up over here. So this has been sitting out of the package for a little bit, so it has lost a little bit of the funk from when I first opened it up. But as Whisky Scout mentioned, I was talking about like a foot smell, or a as I mentioned, because what actually happened was I cut the cheese, put it down, and smelled my fingers, and it kind of smelled like I just ran my fingers through my toes. It was like a toe jam funk smell. So I think the smell is actually stronger on your fingers. It's probably something mixing with the oils and stuff in your skin that kind of brings it on. The cheese itself is a little bit softer on that aroma, but it is kind of a little bit foot funky to me still. All right, let's go and try to taste this.
Yeah.
It's kind of rubbery, and once again, I don't know if that's because I cut it and let it sit out, and it's kind of got like a rubbery feel to it. Kind of mild, actually, in the flavors. There is a little bit of a kind of nut type note that comes up through there. A little bit of that.
He said nut.
It's not moist at all.
No,
Kind of drying out my palate, actually.
Yeah.
Dry nuts.
Dry nuts.
I'm sorry. There we go.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's mostly got this nutty flavor with a kind of little bit of a funk note to it, like gym socks, but very mild. Very mild.
You're really selling me.
Yeah, I'm not liking the texture on this one. Like I said, it's very rubbery.
It's firm, dry, and rubbery. That's how.
It's like I can almost bend this thing in half, and it starts to split.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's kind of how Swiss is. Yeah.
All right, beer and cheese.
Little rabbit. Cheers. Little bunny foo.
Well, some positive notes. The cheese with the beer has seemed to take out that metallic flavor. So there's a win there. The kind of funkiness, that gym sock funk foot type flavor, does linger on even after drinking the beer. So you kind of get that quick hint of like a cherry flavor. The bready notes are actually kind of diluted a little bit with this, like that brown bread note has been kind of bounced down with the cheese. That foot funk still kind of lingers on. Yeah. So I think it's kind of done some good things for the beer.
Interesting.
The cheese, on the other hand, I mean, it's kind of lost some of that nutty flavor that I was picking up because I kind of enjoyed that flavor over that funky. But that's kind of what's left behind with the pairing. So, all right, that's that. I can't wait to hear what Beer Man has to say about it.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I get to say. All right. Well, man, we got Thomas Metal here. Thanks, Bumpy. All right, let's go solo. All right.
All right, let's. All right, pre-disclosure here because I don't read and I don't know what the hell is going on this channel. Yeah, there's no Swiss on my plate today. Boo,
it's okay.
I will make sure I know.
Demerits.
Boo, but it's okay.
We're good. We're eating a sage Derby cheese from England. Farmhouse aged. I can't find information on their website for what that means, but it's produced exclusively for Sid Weiner and Son out of New Bedford, Massachusetts, and it's best before October 11th. So there you go on that.
I've had a couple of their cheeses. They make excellent cheese.
Yeah, the stuff is all right.
Too.
You can't really see how green it is, but it is green with the white spots on it. I don't know if I need to turn down the camera light a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see that. And I'm gonna be finishing. I just did a review. I'll go really, really quick into this beer. From my channel, I did a review, but I'm gonna be finishing up the Fort George 3-way IPA that good buddy Beer Man sent me. Thank you. Good. I gave this a 95, so I like that beer. It's in a teku glass for the Treehouse. It's got amazing lacing. It is more orangey. It is. At this point, it is kind of orangey from the bottom of the can, and it had a pretty nice frothy head, as you can clearly tell there. The nose to me is very tropical juice of the pineapple, the grapefruit. I am getting a lot of orangey notes to it, getting that Pilsner bready crackery malt to it, and I am getting almost like a little bit of a bubble gummy kind of a note from it. They are using what did I say in that review? Holy crap. They're using Azeka hops, using Chinook hops as well. And you're definitely getting some dank notes from some Chinook hops for sure in that one. But I mean, if you can think back to a time, if anybody here on the panel's had like really sticking out in your brain, really good New England style IPAs to a T, that's what that thing smells like. Let's drink it.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Definitely a cheers. All right.
So I kind of felt like there was a blueberry note a little bit or a berry note, but there's no mosaic giving it that. Definitely Chinook. There's definitely that dank pine resin. Tons of pineapple and grapefruit. Tons of orange right as it dries. You're getting an orangey sensation. And right before that, you're getting a lot of the dank resinous oils from the pine. It has a milky, which is maybe where I think the cheese might work well. It's got a milky texture to it the whole way through. It's got a very soft and velvety kind of a head on that one. And I don't know, again, like I said in my review on my channel, I don't know if I'm getting the yeast strain a little bit or if that's a little bit too funky or like, I don't know if the sweet flavors is what I'm getting or I am getting a little bit of the ABV at 7.2. There's a little bit of a sharpness, and that also could be at the back of the palate where I'm getting a lot of that resinous dank oils that are holding on and giving me whatever IBUs they have, which are undisclosed. So I think if they rounded that flavor out a little bit, it would get even a higher score than my 95 I gave it. Also, it's almost cotton mouth dry, but not quite. And there's a little bit of a chalky sensation. So if they kind of worked to smooth out some of the edges a little bit, it would get a higher rating from me. But as it stands, that's a good beer right there.
Nice. Yes.
Sage Derby cheese. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that stuff. I was looking up some information. Derbyshire, England, in the cheddar family. It's a semi-hard cheese. It's going to have a creamy, firm, open, and smooth texture, and kind of buttery, mild, sweet flavors. And they do it a lot with some sage. That's one of the most common ways to find it. There's there's the milky kind of smell to that. I'm not really getting any vegetal or herbal notes out of that whatsoever. It kind of reminds me of like a more of a buttery smell than cheddar, but almost like a cheddar. I'll try it.
Cool.
It is, what do they say? It's semi-hard, and it's not brie cheese. It's got a little bit more firmer texture than that. Very milky, very buttery, very, very, very buttery. I can get some of the vegetal notes now out of it. There's a little bit of a sharpness, kind of like a mild cheddar cheese. It's not slam your head, that kind of sharp flavor. But you got to work it a little bit. It kind of gets stuck in the back of the mold a little bit. So we'll see if it does anything with cheese. Maybe there is like a little nutty quality to that. I think I like that. The milky texture of this IPA, the smooth, velvety, milky texture, mixed with that very drying and Pilsner crackery malt flavor, works well with this cheese. And now I'm starting to notice that the cheese has a little bit of a salty quality thanks to the beer a little bit. So I didn't know what to expect from this. You get all different kinds of thought processes of what to eat and pair with the Derby cheese. I had at one point bought a Julius Echter Hefeweizen to try with this, but I think I like this better. Pretty cool stuff.
Nice.
You definitely have to chew it.
Nice.
Cheers, everybody.
All right.
No,
Oh, shit, I was typing something. I was trying to hurry, dude.
Cheddar.
Awesome. That beer is good. That beer, I found it pretty good. They're they do a new batch, like I said, every year is different, but it's all what they decide to do. But it's a good brewery though. It's a good brewery.
It's my favorite of the three you sent. I really like that.
Oh, really cool. All right, awesome. Good deal. Well, thanks, man.
Sir.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Nina. So it is all you.
Oh wow! Hey.
Whoa, what's up?
So I was gonna put mine in the refrigerator because mine's kind of a slow sipper, but like I guess I just dogged on it for a little while. It's the Maybach. A May
You're drinking
beer.
your malty Monday beer early.
It's is it Bach beer on Monday?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of late for these anyway. These are gonna be hard to get because that's like an over the winter kind of storage, I guess. Anyway, I heard that Bach pairs well with Swiss cheese. So I just so happened to have some of these in my refrigerator left over from May. They're now out of print.
Ew, yeah.
So it's like a Helles Bach. It's a fizzy Bach. Anyway, I poured some out in my my perfect pint, which like literally is the perfect glass for this beer. You just can really get like this beautiful nose from it, which is like really, you can totally, the malt is just like rocking and like extra, I don't know, it must have had all kinds of funky shit going on and they stored it and it's all mellow now and it's awesome and fizzy. So it's like a really cool, this is like as stout as I like to get in my opinion. It has a little more going on than you're at. I don't know. I'm not going to write off brown ales because brown ale can mean anything. This is like a brown ale basically. But it's a lager, right? It's been stored for cold. And then I've got my baby Swiss here with a little bit of mustard, which I haven't adhered to it yet. But yeah, we've got some baby Swiss on some saltines. Now this is deli Swiss. It has that funky smell, that like twanginess coming off of it. Provolone last week was more sharp than this, where this kind of sticks around in like a fruitiness. Maybe, I don't know if barnyard would be kind of like, yeah, like a moldy, schmoldy kind of like the gooey, rotten layer of hay against like mud, or like when a bunch of bales of hay are like piled up or something. Like, but you know, that's why you have a hay barn. You like keep your hay in this barn and it's like all dry and like the cows inhale it. It's like giving a cow like what do you call it, like a croissant, you know what I mean? Like it's just like puff pastry for the cow. But you know, you're getting the opposite of that with this. You're getting like this stuff is going to bounce when I chew it, like green hay. You know what I mean? Like it's cheesy, like
Cheese is cheesy, people.
cheesy hay kind of smell, which is a thing. So it's moldy. It's alive. It's alive. Luckily, I have the what do you call it? The saltine here, or I really wouldn't want to be like eating this. I think it would be too rubbery, and I think it's kind of like essential to have something to break that up. I don't normally just eat big wads of cheese. I kind of like to put them on something. But yeah, I'll go for one now without any mustard, and I'll let you know what I think here.
Cool.
Awesome.
She said cheese wads.
It's so springy. I'm gonna have to go straight for the beer. So yeah, this one's impossible to eat. It's like too dry and too springy.
Weird.
You need a beer to wash the sucker down. And I've noticed that with Swiss cheese, you kind of need it like melted, or with like some kind of beef or ham can kind of like allow you to kind of squish your teeth through it. Just gives you that extra, I don't know, layer of biting through. Like here's a little chunk of cheese that I basically choked on. I'm gonna chew this up, and it's like one of the most rubbery cheeses. Yet I'm not gonna rag on this cheese. Maybe it's the baby Swiss that's extra bouncy here. When I have one of those really sharp, dry Swisses that you can just fold into like cracks, that's what I prefer. So maybe that's your more mature Swiss, whereas your baby Swiss is like very extremely rubbery, like your bicycle inner tube or something. So
That's a mental image.
So I was able to fight through that one, even though it's still very springy. And I'm gonna get a perfect pairing with this beer, which is actually like saving my ass right now. I would be like Heimlicking myself if I didn't have this beer. And I don't love Bach's. Bach beer to me, I'm like hanging around drinking one. I hit like a plateau. I just like don't want to really guzzle it anymore. And some kind of situation like this where I need to wash my palate, something like this, is kind of like at play. Kind of reminds me of soda. Like this is like the Coca-Cola body of beers. Yeah, this is a pretty good beer. All the little fizziness that's going on in it keeps it a lot more interesting than you'd think it would be. Like I've had a lot of Bach beers, which I normally get Bach beer in wintertime, which doesn't make any sense because it's like you store it in the cold climate in order to drink it, like this one being in May. Anyway, I feel like this one has a lot of soul compared to a lot of the Bachs that I've had in the past, and it's given me like a renewed appreciation for it. So anyway, when I drink this sitting around on like a Sunday afternoon, my palate gets kind of like clogged up with it. Like I'm not like excited to drink much more. And I'm not getting that sensation right now sipping it with this cheese, which to me is very interesting. So I guess there's just a place and a pairing for everything. To me, this beer that I've appreciated drinking a few times is almost brought to another level with the saltiness of my cracker here, the rubberiness of this cheese with that description I gave earlier of it being like, very new aliveness. I'm gonna go in for another taste, after I pass the mic here, and try some with the mustard, and I'll get back to you on my opinion with that. But the Bach beer is working well with this. It's and this is a 9% or maybe it's 8%. It's up there. So we're talking like a double Bach kind of territory here. But look how fizzy and light. I don't know. Wouldn't have been my first choice. And when I saw that they paired, I had to try it. And I could see why it was recommended.
Nice.
There must be a metric we could follow. So cheers, everyone.
Cheers. That's awesome.
Sure.
All right, thanks, and I appreciate that. That's all. That was a great review. Cool. Well, you get a lot of these. The websites say what pairs with what, and a lot of times, I mean, that's what this show is all about: is seeing just what exactly pairs with it. And I guess it was kind of nice having this Swiss cheese, or just any cheese that we pick and we all have at the same time. We can all kind of appreciate where we're pairing at and what kind of beer. And everyone got a beer within the same pairing range too, from what I was seeing. Maybe everyone's looking at the same list. I don't know. I'm looking at some generic list, and it's like, yeah, it goes with that, blah blah blah. But I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to do this. Cool. So I thank you, Nina. Let's go with me. I'm gonna let's do this. All right, sweet. So what I have is this. This is, I'm just gonna show you straight up. And then I'm gonna go back to me. So what I have is I was reading that a goose went really well with a Swiss, and I can imagine more on the apple side, like anything appley. Apple tasting or cider like would probably go good with the Swiss, and it makes a lot of sense. This is a 2014, so it's 6 years old. Let me pull up my stats and shit. So it's they're out of Boon Brewery out of Lembeek, Belgium, near Brussels. They mainly produce a goose and a creek, or crick, or however you pronounce that. This is the Mariage Parfait, 8%. IBUs weren't mentioned. It's a blend of young and 3-year-old lambics. So 2014 makes it a 6-year-old aged beer. It's been sitting. I got it over at Bridge and Tunnel in Astoria, and it's been there forever. It's been, it's been sitting. No offense. It's just really cool that I was finally able to get one of these. So get the cage off here.
You might have agitated it. Watch out.
Might have, and I'm sure it'll be champagne.
I was just thinking that. Yeah. Let's see.
But let's go to this little port.
Wow, professional,
Exciting.
tidy.
Okay.
Oh, that was another full.
Very slick.
Make it nice and pretty.
Nice label. Green bottle.
Yep.
Green bottle.
I think that style is in green bottles a lot.
Cool. It's nice looking. Look at that brew.
Pilsner or kill.
Poured good.
Nice looking amber looking color. Kind of a deep golden honey. Or let's go back to me. All right, so hell yeah. Yeah, I mean I can smell the cider. There's kind of a vinegary cider going on, like
That's awesome. Wow.
Oh wow. A finger head on the pour. I get a hardcore apple cider vinegar, but it's got more of like a green apple, granny apple kind of smell to it. That sweet and sour kind of tartness. You get I don't really get a whole lot of malt per se. Oh, thank you, Smokey. I appreciate that, man. That's very nice, man. Thank you. I don't get a whole lot of malt, just that vinegar-esque kind of feel to the nose and the aroma. Let's go to the look of it. So it's already, the retention, of course, is going to go down a little faster on these more lactic acid-like beers, or wild beers, should I say. It's hazy. It's opaque. You can't see through it. It's a golden, deep honey, or a golden kind of an amber, maybe even a light amber. more lighter at the base of the bulb here. It is a little. It's got a lot of the yeast sediment and stuff floating around in there. It's still kind of like bottle condensed. It's a bottle conditioned beer, of course. So it's got a lot of stuff floating around, a lot of things going on. I did shake it around a bit too, as Thomas was saying. So I think I got a lot of stuff going through it.
Mhm.
I mean, after 2 minutes, the retention's already going down. No lacing expected. Let's drink into this. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Oh,
It's definitely it's got a very potent sour quality to it. But past that, you start getting that cider. Thank you, Silver. Well, I appreciate that so much. Thank you, man. You guys rock. It's got kind of a golden, like a sour, vinegar, like I said, vinegar-esque feel in the nose, also in the flavor, also on the tongue, on the palate. You're getting this real sour, like kind of it's just very, very acidic tasting. I'm hoping the cheese will kind of rough it out or smooth it out a bit. It's not bad though. It's actually pretty tolerable. It's like an unsweetened cider. It's not like drinking apple cider vinegar because that gets real hard and harsh on your throat. This is real smooth and nice and clean. It's unfiltered, but you get that. You just feel like you're drinking something real natural and nice and I don't know. It's good for you. You know, it feels like a good for you beer. It's really full. It's got a nice. The body is kind of a light to medium body, and the mouth feels real clean and refreshing. It's served at at least 40 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I don't know what the Celsius on that, but very good, very clean beer. Although unfiltered, very clean feeling in the throat. Very nice. Nice dry finish, kind of a puckery dry finish in the back, kind of astringent in a way. Very nice.
40 degrees Fahrenheit is just about 5 degrees Celsius. 4.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome.
4.
And as you said that, I got more like a grape. I got a vinny quality to this as well.
Sure.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, no. This cheese,
My cousin Vinny.
like you can kind of see it here. It's the same block of cheese that Bumpy had. It's the same exact thing. Aged over 120 days. A Switzerland imported Swiss cheese from Boar's Head. Another good company that produces some pretty quality cheeses.
And deli meat. Love their meats.
Deli meats, yes. And their sandwiches are bomb too. I always buy their sandwiches for lunch. Those rolled ones with the tortilla. They have like tortilla shell, and then inside's all this weird turkey and lettuce and cranberries.
Yeah.
Wraps.
Yeah,
They're good.
I like their trucks.
So
They have those beautiful delivery trucks too that they haul all their meat and cheese in. They're like cool, like an interesting vehicle. Check them out. You'll see them.
Right. Nice. I will. Beer Hounds, cheers, man. Man, you guys are awesome. Yeah, no, that so let's get a smell on this. It's definitely the Swiss cheese smell that you're looking. It's a pungent, kind of a sweet citrus kind of smell. Kind of sparkly and weird, like kind of infuses the nose with this. It's not pungent. It's not like blue cheese pungent. It's not. It's more of a. It's got like that. I don't know, like I don't know how to explain this too well, actually, but it's got a milky, Swiss sweet citrus kind of smell to it, and I kind of like that. And I've always liked the tanginess of Swiss cheese on your round of your tongue. I like how you feel that. It kind of goes back. You know you have Swiss when you're eating like a Swiss. I love Swiss cheese on anything. Burgers, fucking sandwiches, anything. Very good. Let's taste this.
It doesn't take much Swiss cheese.
No.
It's yeah, and as expected, Swiss is more of a plastic feel, like
Yeah.
rubbery.
Yeah.
Heard that today.
Not too wet, kind of dry. Has a little bit of a pungency in there, a little saltiness, a slight saltiness. with that pungent and that milk. It really pulls through well. It's real nice. I like this cheese a lot. Swiss is one of my favorite. I think that's why I said Swiss. I was like, let's just do Swiss. Yeah, I like Swiss. It's one of my favorites. It is hard to chew up and stuff because it's so rubbery.
It's best sliced thin, real thin, and just nice. Deli meat.
Good on the teeth, not too hard to chew. Doesn't have any crunchies or anything like that. Oh, nice. Okay, let's do this. It just seems to go well with it. It doesn't really take away the vinegar or anything like that you get. It doesn't seem to take away a lot of the flavor. It does kind of off-center the flavors a little, though. Makes it more cardboard flavor on the bottom of it. I know that sounds weird, but it kind of like flattens out stuff, and then it kind of starts to bring itself back up again. And it's weird. It's like it lays a platform for what you're drinking, and then all of a sudden the cheese kind of takes up and goes through the fizziness, and it's really nice. It just seems to. It doesn't seem to compromise. It just seems to go well with it. It doesn't seem to be a problem or a contrast.
Say flat as opposed to when it rounds out the beer's flavor.
Not compromise. I didn't mean that word. What did you say?
I say
I'm sorry.
Contrast.
You say flat as opposed to it rounds out the flavor of the beer.
It takes a part of it out and then reinterprets itself.
Wow.
It like puts itself back into the picture. It's like you're tasting Swiss cheese now. and then you taste the goose and you're like, whoa, okay, it's starting to fizz. It starts to throw these like little seaweed like fucking gross that you see in like the ocean. Like it starts to bring up these veins of like love. Like it really, I don't know, it's got this crazy. It's actually pretty good.
I have had Jarlsberg cheese, Nina.
That's so good.
What kind of the difference between Swiss and Jarlsberg? I don't know if I like Jarlsberg that much. It's okay and it's expensive for what it is. It's like low fat maybe.
I brought it to the table one time here.
When you run the sour through this cheese, it actually kind of mellows it out a little bit. Actually, I didn't run it through. Let me get me on regular. Yeah, when you go, what's Jarlsberg? What's that?
The Jarlsberg cheese? Yeah, I had that the one time. I did it with the peanut butter and jelly brown ale, and I got like chocolate.
Wow.
It was weird, but it was good. It was tasty. It's on tape. You guys go check it out. I can't remember specifically which one it is. Might have to go searching.
Swiss lace. It looks
Swiss
like
lace.
It's like a Swiss cheese with all these like micro holes in it. It's like usually in a big disc so it stays together.
That's awesome.
The one I got, it was like a real tiny solid block of cheese like this. Probably about yay thick.
Damn. Dude. I didn't realize how much Swiss was so powerful. I mean, this is aged, but I mean, some of the ones you get in like the grocery store, they're like the slices. And I think Whiskey, you had one that was more grocery store oriented, but those are even a little pungent. You don't realize how pungent they are until you start to chew into that rubberiness. You get through it and you start to taste all these little like milky things and citrus, and it's like cottage cheese in a way. It's like weird how it tastes. Oh man,
I got a deli one.
Oh no, this one was tasty. I don't know if Bumpy tasted the same thing, but I.
Well, no. So now when every time I say.
Oh boy! Here come everybody! Get ready
Should
for the
I create a banner?
No, anytime I talk about a beer and I'm like, oh yeah, there's kind of a nuttiness to it. I'm actually talking about citrus. I got like a nutty flavor out of it. There was a strange like twinge at the end. I just associated with nuttiness.
Throwing me all off, Bumpy.
That's because yours was aged for 120 days,
Cheers.
4 hours. His was only aged for 120 days, 2 hours.
Right.
Changed it.
All right. So, so Whiskey Scout, give us so everyone knows. Give us your number. Give us your final things, thoughts.
Yep.
Give us your number and tell us what you got going on too. You had a new video I got to watch, Whiskey too. So I definitely just saw that. So
yeah, I just dumped up. In fact, before I got on here, I just released a passport scotch video. It's a very relaxed video. We'll put it that way. Anyway, I didn't really talk about the pairing too much. It just kind of, but it was awkward. But I've let it set for a while. I haven't had either. So let's do the beer first, then the cheese.
All right. Justin, cheers.
See, I don't get all the aged component you guys do, like the nuttiness and citrus or whatever. I'm not getting any of that. I'm just getting a nice lactose, milky quality cheese. There's a little bit of that funkiness going along with it. Now, still, the cheese, I'm going to give it it's a good Swiss cheese. Because what I do with Swiss, I cut a little thin sliced off. I start my mushrooms in a saucepan with a little butter and vinegar, or butter and garlic. Then I'll put my burger over here on the George Foreman. When the burger finished on the George Foreman, it gets the piece of Swiss cheese and gets covered in the mushrooms. I get a Swiss and mushroom, which I really like. Those. It's my favorite way to have a burger.
Yum.
So,
me too.
But isn't there some burger called the Roy Rogers with ham and Swiss on top of it?
Oh my God! What?
Yummy! What are you talking about? I want one of these.
Anyway, we'll give the cheese an 85. I'm going to give the beer a 92 because I really like this style. Oh, and I did look up the beer. It was 4.1% alcohol by volume and 0 IBUs, which explains why I'm not getting any hops or anything like that coming across.
Oh,
but it's very sweet, very very tart. It's probably more tart than sour, and I like the cranberry note. But the beer gets a 92, cheese gets an 85. I want to together. There'd be an 85. I don't really like it together. I'll be honest. It's not. They're not hurting each other, and an 85 is still a B, which is not a bad score, but it's just not. It's not something I'd do again. So
nice. All right.
Anyway.
Cool. 95. Is that what I got? Did I totally get
I got 85 on the cheese and 92.
And the together score though. What did you get?
What's the score? No, 85 together score.
85 just get okay.
I'm going to keep this down around
just together. I need to stop drinking.
I'm not going to average. This is not an average.
Paying attention to chat and everyone else. All right, I'm trying to be a good host here.
So that was like the store brand Kroger Swiss cheese.
Yes,
just
Kroger
regular.
Swiss. And like I said,
still not bad.
Not bad.
The package is upstairs covered in blood, and nobody wants to see that.
Oh no, but that's not bad. That Kroger cheese is really good, actually. I don't mind it. I put it on my sandwiches all the time.
Well,
the
yeah,
Swiss one I love. So
I try it.
My sandwiches.
Swiss. I buy the
Love
Swiss
sandwiches. Ham and turkey sandwiches.
Ham and Swiss.
I was actually talking about that in the hangout.
Man,
Somebody
with
was
some sweet relish or dill.
On a piece of rye bread, folded in half with ham and Swiss. Oh yeah.
Yum, right. Yum.
Don't forget the mayo. You're gonna have the mayo.
You like the
We're
ham and
eating
Swiss
at
and mayo?
Nina's house tonight, right?
The mayo for the throat.
Old tub.
Picked up the bourbon.
What's the show this again? There we
I
go.
picked up the new bourbon yesterday. It's only $23.99. It was cheap, and I was in there.
Nice.
So I'm probably going to concentrate on getting that as the next video after the one I released because it's a bottled and bond, and I always kind of like to try bottled and bond. It's kind of
Scouted out another one, I see.
Yeah, it just hit our market. It used to be a Jim Beam distillery only release, but they've decided to release it nationwide, and literally, I think they got it this week. So, $23.99 is a good price. So.
Well, everyone, check out fucking whiskey, fucking oh my God,
Whisky Scout.
Jesus Christ, Whisky Scout, fuck's sake, whiskey. Everyone, come on. I took the names off, and I'm supposed to memorize things and know you guys. But Whisky Scout, no, please check out Whisky Scout, and he just put up a video today, and I need to check that out as well. So, and please take care of your finger. Hopefully everything is good, and pick up the cheese from your trash can and eat the rest of it. It's good for you.
Bleeding's a good sign. It got the cheesy infection out.
As I just dive bombed on that one, I'm sorry, Robert.
You're all right. You're all right.
Someone hit me on the head, please, quick. All right, no, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so Miscellaneous.
All right. So while everybody was going, I took a few minutes and stuff, starting to do this more so I can remember what it is I need to say instead of just winging it all the time. So, yeah, the cheese was good. You guys said you got more of like a Brewery quality out of yours. I didn't really get that. It was more of a rich, creamy, subtle cheese. It had a quick finish on the flavor. Had, like I said, on the nose, it had a slight funk, but it wasn't overpowering or off-putting, in my opinion. Like I said, it was rich and creamy. The beer, so I don't know. The cheese, I'm not a real big Swiss cheese fan, to be honest with you. Not my favorite cheese, unless we're doing like a ham and Swiss grilled cheese style. But that's about it, you know.
Did you notice any little crystalliness to that cheese at all? I think you said you didn't.
No. It wasn't aged at all, but it was good. I'd rate it an 89. I mean, that's pretty good score for somebody who doesn't like Swiss. It was good, enjoyable. So on the beer though, the Boulevard Chillo Vibe, the Cucumber Sour Ale. It was a light body beer. It was crisp, refreshing, not tart like your traditional Berliner Weissen. It was more of like a sour ale. It was the cucumber flavor was like really fresh and crisp. It was like literally like if you had taken like a slice of cucumber and ate it and drank it with like a sour beer. It was Johnny on the spot. I mean, it was one of the closest things that I've had to a pickle beer that didn't have garlic in it. I mean, this was really good, light, crisp, and refreshing. All in all, the beer was good. Definitely a great lawnmower beer. I would get one. Guys, try it if you can find it. It's not expensive, cheap. I can only find singles. I haven't seen them in a case. So I'll give the beer. I'll give it a 95. It was really good for what it was. Because I had a Radler by them the other day, and it was absolutely horrible. First bad beer I ever had from Boulevard. But
wow,
together, it was actually the cheese and the beer together was very reminiscent of a dill Havarti. The way they worked together, I had the cucumber pickly sourness that went well with the Swiss, and like I said, it just reminded me almost like a dill Havarti. So I'm gonna go overall score. I'll give it a 91.
Nice, 91. Excellent. All right, so we're within good ranges here. This is good. I like it. We went from a B plus to a 91 to an A minus. Let's get that up there a little more.
Yes, sir.
I'm just playing. No, all right. Thanks, guys. Bumpy Roll, brother. All right, it's all you. What you got?
All right.
Oh, miscellaneous. Oh, shit. What did you got to share? You got anything to share, brother?
Nothing coming up recently. I will be doing a brew day soon. I just got to get my got to get everything in order. I got to bottle this stout, and I might do a quick video on that. So keep your eyes open. Get the bell on, and you'll see it. It'll shout out.
Nice, cool. All right, Bumpy. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Shoot.
No problem. So for the East.
One more thing. Wait. Sorry, Bumpy. I was just being.
Screw all of you.
Sorry, for real this time. I'm gonna shut up.
Don't you have one more thing?
No.
Okay. The North Coast Brewing Company's brothers frig this name,
Polonius.
man. Polonius, yeah, right. But no, with the Thelonious. Polonius.
There you go. Woo!
The Belgian style Abbey Ale, which is a Belgian strong ale. So I'm gonna give that an 89 out of 100, which is gonna land it in the good category for me.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm not like big into a lot of like the darker Belgians, anyways, like the doubles or the dubels or the quads. They're kind of growing on me a little bit, but this one, like, it just doesn't even reach like the level of like a dubel that I've had, like either Chimay or any of the other ones I've had. It's just missing. It's just missing out on notes, and that kind of metallic flavor kind of brought that down for me a little bit too. Yeah, it's all right. It's good. So an 89 out of 100 for that. The cheese, I really don't like Swiss cheese.
Not even on a ham and Swiss.
I like okay, so I like Swiss on, yeah, if you get like a spicy chicken sandwich with Swiss on it, or like a cheeseburger, you throw some Swiss. Yeah, if it's like combined with other things. But the cheese itself, it's got a horrible freaking mouthfeel. It's the flavors aren't very nice. It's not vomit worthy. I guess, you know, I mean, it's edible. I can eat it.
What if I put it on a fried egg for you? Would you eat that?
I'd probably, I'd eat it on, you know, put Swiss in omelets and stuff. Yeah, if it's melted down and it's kind of mixed with other things, then perfectly fine, you know. But you have all those other flavors that are gonna, you know, kind of overpower a lot of the yuck just coming from the cheese itself. So for me, I'm gonna give it a score of, I don't know, where would I land it? Just above like throwing it in the trash. But I'm gonna throw the rest of this in the trash. I'm not gonna eat it. But I did eat enough of it. So I will not buy Swiss cheese again. No. Not just to eat, but I don't know. I'd probably like land this at like a 77, I think is good. I think that's right above throwing it into the trash.
You have to see it again in summer school.
I'm glad we did Swiss.
Yeah, the combination with them both. I mean, you know, it kind of the Swiss kind of helped out the beer as far as taking out the metallic notes, but then it kind of took away some of the more flavorful flavors out of the beer as well. It kind of took out some of the darker fruit notes I was getting, and it also kind of took away a lot of that kind of dark brown bread note I was getting out of the beer as well. Kind of dulled down the sweetness a little bit. The beer itself didn't do much for the cheese except take away the only kind of good flavor note out of there, which I was picking up on nuttiness, and it just left me with the foot funk. So I don't know. The pairing was kind of mismatched, but okay, I guess, on one hand, because I hated the cheese. So I'll give it like an 80, I guess.
Still passable. Yeah,
it's passable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course, others will have, different, ideas about it. I guess we all have our own palates, so it's kind of interesting. No, that's cool.
I can say that this Swiss cheese absolutely does not pair at all with a summer ale. No, I almost bombed it. I tried it, so I put it, and I took a step. And I was like, oh, it was bad. No. So there are certain beer styles and stuff that do pair better with this cheese than.
Yeah. No, that.
Gotcha. I hear you, buddy.
Good. All right. Well, we're passing tonight, so that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So, all right. We got you. You're next, brother.
All right, so yeah, the non-Swiss, the English cheese, Sage Derby cheese. I can honestly say I've not had a cheese quite like this one. Soft, creamy, buttery, kind of had a similar sharpness to some milder sharp cheddars. And actually, I started to notice when I broke some of the pieces apart that I was getting more of the vegetal part of the sage. So that was pretty cool, but it was not anything too perfumey. It wasn't anything too fluorescence, not the word, but it wasn't too floral, I guess. Yeah, or anything like that. The very end, I found more. The very end of the beer that you sent me, beer man, that's even way more fruity at the very end with the yeast mixed in with it. Ooh. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the 95. That is one way cool beer.
Nice.
And the beer ended up, or vice versa. The cheese ended up taking away some of that abrasive bitterness by the time that it dried, and I noticed more salt from the cheese with the beer, and I also noticed that the beer wasn't quite as dry with the cheese. There was another thing I noticed. The milky texture of the actual IPA worked well with the buttery, milky kind of a texture from this cheese. So the cheese gets, we'll go straight 91. So 90, 95. We'll cut that sucker in the middle, 93.
93. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that worked out good.
Nice.
All right. Sweet. Yeah, that's a good beer. 3-way is really good.
I like it.
I've been happy with it. Justin Colby says, I'd like to see some reviews with those wine BA beers. This would intrigue me for sure. So barrel-aged wine beers, he's saying, beers that could be found, if you can find beers with that are barrel-aged in wine barrels, that would be interesting. So to Justin, that would. So thank you for bringing that up. Just kind of looking through everything real quick. You have got Rick in the house, UXXS. I didn't say that right. We'll just say Rick. I make lots of character boards, and I love goat cheeses. I love goat cheese and Breeze with Modelo. See, that sounds really good. I really like Brie quite a bit. So, man, thanks,
Don't eat
guys.
the outside.
Yeah, don't eat. You might have adverse reactions to that.
Good
All
call.
night long. Heart rate and everything goes up. Do you still do the beer and cheer? I don't, Jeremy. I don't. I probably could have kept going forward with it, and it would have gotten a little bigger maybe as I went. But I just felt like I needed a break, so I took it off my list. Hard
to pair, man.
Hard to pair.
Limited
It's
jerky selection.
Yeah, in most areas, hard to find more
Kind
than
of
teriyaki
expensive.
and
Yeah,
Definitely spendy.
spendy too. Yeah. So, all right, Nina. So,
All
thank
right,
you, Eric.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
I've been
so
digging mine. My Maybach is good, and it works with the cheese. It kind of has a good conversation going with the cheese. Does different things. I liked it. I still have a couple pieces of my Swiss cheese. I guess this is a good snacking tapas cheese. If you put it out, you don't have to worry about having to replenish the appetizer plate too frequently. But yeah, I like a more crunchy Swiss cheese, and I leave them in my deli drawer because I use like one slice on like a ham sandwich. So I think it lasts a long time, and maybe it dries out. And if I bought baby Swiss, by the time I'm done eating it, maybe I have a more mature Swiss in my refrigerator, excuse me. But this beer played very nice with it. They both worked very well. You don't really get much of that rubberiness from this type of a beer. It's very crisp on the palate, and I guess maybe the waxiness or whatever it is about any cheese possibly. I'd like to maybe pair more cheeses with this, but something about that funky newness of the Swiss really worked with the complete aged outness of the Bock beer. So yeah, this was shockingly high rating in my book. I'm going to go with a 99 for this Bock beer, the style. And I'm going to go with so what are the other cheeses that I am comparing this Swiss against? Just like any white cheese, like lagers of cheeses, like provolone I'm comparing this to. But this particular store brand of Swiss. I'm not going to rate it all that high. I'm probably going to go with like a 90, a 90, and even 90 for it. It's okay. I would have been fine with a piece on my sandwich, but I've had some premium Swisses from like the Polish store or some smoked Swisses, or even some of that big, weird, thick Swiss cheese with a couple of holes in it that you get like on the cheap from the Polish store is pretty good compared to this. The Polish people don't eat cheese, so you know what I mean.
It's the stuff they leave out for the mice, right?
They don't eat a lot of cheese. They smoke cheese once in a while, but it's like, you know, one piece goes a long way. When you're eating pierogies and you're eating kibasi, there's rarely cheese in the equation, and it's kind of like a delicacy. So yeah, I like my cheese dry and flaky, sort of. So I'm gonna rate this at the 90. I feel confident there, and I rate cheeses very highly. I call it like I see it. I really appreciate cheese. It's an interesting life form. It's alive, and I don't want to offend Swiss cheese because it's been with me for a long time. But this box style is excellent. If you find it, and it's, you know, only in May. It's brewed for May. Over the winter they brew it and they put it out in May. Give it a shot. Maybach. It's new to me. I wasn't aware. I guess it's you know, obviously a German beer, German purity and all that. And it has a hop profile that you taste. You know, normally on a Bock beer, I wouldn't think they'd waste their time making it very hoppy, and it's not even like the IBUs are killer high, but you get that hop bite, side of your tongue, all that keeps it interesting. It's nice.
Nice.
There is a few Maybachs you can get year round, like the Dead Guy Ale, and I believe Abita makes one.
I've been hearing about those, both of those, so I'll keep my eyes peeled.
The Dead Guy's really good.
Yeah, Shiner Bock is year round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did
like
you
I
know?
said earlier, I get a lot of them in the winter. And,
Bach Goose.
Bach Goose. I'm sure they make year round everything.
Dad jokes, Bumpy. Come on, man.
Don't make me laugh. I gotta pee.
Like,
That Poland is the 6th largest cheese producer in the world and has the 18th highest cheese consumption.
It's terrible.
And apparently they have over 600 types of cheeses. And
a bladder bag.
manufacturing goes back to 5500 BC. So
I'm not saying they don't.
they enjoy their fromage from time to time.
Damn. All right. Well, that was the biggest score yet, I think. Let's see. Well, no, amongst Thomas Metal and Nina, that you guys have the kind of the bigger scores here, I think. So
my score would have been higher if it wasn't Swiss.
If it wasn't Swiss.
You're on.
I just gave you my honest info.
Miscellaneous gave a pretty good score too, though. So that was.
I've been trying to shun away from the high 90s now. I mean, sometimes it's really good and you can't help yourself, but I think there's something better out there for it.
Yeah, I agree with Bumpy. The Swiss is something you add to things. You add to a sandwich or something like that. To sit and eat Swiss by itself, nah.
That's how, like, when I know I got a really
Agreed.
good cheese, is when I can eat the cheese and be like, "This is a damn good cheese."
Right? Like goat cheese.
You haven't seen Bumpy take a bite out of the block yet. I mean,
on your salad, it would go good, you know. Like, well, no, because enhancing your lettuce and stuff, but
Right. Enhancing your lettuce.
Botashi. Look up Botashi. It's crazy. All right. I will definitely do that. Let me do that now so I don't forget. Botashi. Okay, that gives me Maharashtra, India. Okay.
yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that in the sexual position book from India?
Oh, God damn. Oh, my God.
Why did you have?
You're mistaken. I know what the name of that book is.
Well, shit. All right, I got a pee, so let's do this. The beer itself, for what it was a great style. What they did, I think, was exceptional. It's a 6-year-old aged beer, bottle aged, and and absolutely had some crazy flavors in there. It wasn't too over crazy with this with the vinegar likeness. I was able to taste other things. So the beer itself, I'll give it a 92. Because even I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Would I have another one? Yeah, probably one at a time.
Was it like a
But
kombucha?
Kind of like a kombucha. Yeah, kind of kombucha. But you always have. I like to have one of those a day too, though. So
I'd like
I would
to.
totally. They're good for you. That Scoby mushroom. Oh yeah, yeah.
I drink a ginger kombucha about when I can buy it at the store. Just because of you made that. I enjoy them. Thank you.
Oh, they're not bad.
I've never had one. I'll have to pick one.
I would have never tried it had not the beer man said, "Oh," he started talking about them. I thought, well, that sounds pretty good. I'll give it a shot.
They'll balance your pH system. They balance your pH.
Oh, I need a lot of balancing. My body is so fucked.
Oh no, get your pH right, and your body will take care of
your brains out if you try one of those first time.
It's good. I like kombucha stuff, man. It's good. My wife really liked kombucha too. She used to always make them all the time, putting different tea flavors in there and stuff. So, and they were always really good. So, but the cheese here, the cheese was really good. I like Swiss. I'm totally opposite of Bumpy here, but I do like Swiss. I thought the Swiss was pretty good. It was aged. It had a pretty nice feel to it. Nuttiness, really, thinking about it as it got warmer, it did kind of have a nutty quality to it. I'm not sure exactly what kind of nut, but did have kind of that nuttiness. I'm a nut. No, but it more just compared with it. It kind of, it just went with it. It didn't take any flavors away from anything. From the beer to that or the cheese to that. It didn't take anything away. So the cheese itself I thought was really good. I'll give it a 92. And altogether I'll go 92 on this. The whole thing was 92. Not bad. So definitely I want to try another beer though. Not so acidic. Maybe a little lighter, maybe even a Helles or something like that would go really good with a Swiss. So I don't know, but cool. Was there Nina and Eric? Did you have anything to say about your channels? I didn't hear anything like that before I ended here.
I just reviewed the last 3 beers that Beer Man sent me. Go check that out on the page.
Yep.
So itty bitty tiny expose on the band that I'm in, Oxblood Forge. Go check that out, and I'll be hopefully I'll be on the Beer Chug show. I probably won't make it for Wednesday. The band's in the studio. There you go, right there. Holy hell, someone owns that. Very well. Yeah. And then maybe Friday I'll show up for Alex's show if I know what the topic of discussion is. Bam.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
It's wild card again.
Sweet, that'll be easy.
Oh yeah, it is wild card. That's right.
Wild card.
Yeah. Nice.
I've been shopping for a cotton futon, like an 8-inch or 10 or 12-inch thick one, and apparently, like all that kind of shit is getting like hard to find with all this like current eviction crisis. So
eviction crisis,
and it keeps going up in price every day. Hey, so I need to buckle down. But I'm trying to set something up in Connecticut, and they got all kinds of good beer in Connecticut, so I might have a interesting change of scenery coming up.
Nice.
You're gonna get closer to New Hampshire.
Getting closer to the Ronnie James Dio fucking area. So
shit!
What happens over there?
There you go.
So yeah,
nice.
Keeping my mind open. Hopefully, I don't have any close encounters of the third kind. But yeah, we're trying to set up some new digs.
Awesome.
Yeah. So maybe there'll be a review video coming up, and I'll try to get something Connecticut. I had a beer last night. I was trying to bring it on Bumpy's show, but I couldn't stand it. It took me like an hour and a half to drink it. It was a house lager out of the 12% Beer Project. I don't know if anyone's heard of them. It was their snappy house lager.
That wasn't snappy at all.
It had a licorice note. I swore that it tasted like what's that stuff? Jägermeister.
Jaeger.
Oh man.
So yeah, it was a slow sipper to say the least.
Yummy.
That's an interesting lager. I mean, I like the black licorice or anise flavors and like stouts and stuff like that. But
In stouts, yeah.
I like Jaeger.
So it wasn't a good example to show off, but it was interesting. I mean, I would buy a single, but I would be hard pressed to even pick up as little as a 4-pack of that one again. The snappiness, just I kept thinking that all night. Snappy. Wow.
Nice. Oh no. Well, cool, man.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, I mean, cool, man. I'll no, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys are awesome. We'll hopefully pick this up again next. You guys will show up next Tuesday. And when
any cheese? Is it any cheese this time?
It's any cheese this time. So just pick any cheese, any beer. We'll do this just once a week. So just kind of add a little mayhem to it all.
Once a month.
You mean once a month?
Yeah.
Bumpy,
Once a
feel free
month,
to mail
sorry.
that block of cheese in
Yeah,
my direction
thanks.
instead of throwing it in your garbage can.
It's already in the trash. Sorry.
No.
You threw it out.
Oh, Dad's
You
from it.
know,
Damn. What's up, bro? Damn, man. It's good to see you, bro. I haven't seen you forever. Thanks for showing up. Awesome. Well, and check me out tomorrow. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do on recipe yet, so we'll just see what happens. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like running out of ideas, but other than that, just beer and cheese Tuesday for me. Wednesday recipe and review time. I'm gonna do just probably one beer from now on, and then I'll go on beer chugs afterwards. Definitely want to support that guy. He's a great dude and great show.
I got Justin. I'm gonna find one of those and I'll bring it next week because I've been eyeballing a couple of them.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
There's a real nice one, but they didn't make it this year. So Stoneface Brewing, they do a Russian Imperial Stout that's aged in wine barrels, Pinot Noir barrels.
Wine barrel beer.
That's absolutely delicious, but they didn't make it. So
If you find me one, Justin, I'll come by it at your store. So I don't have to go around the world to find it. But no, thanks, chat. I appreciate the chat being here. It's such a wonderful chat. We had a good over 20 some odd people in here, so that was a real good outcome. And just real good for the chat, the panel here as well. Please check out these guys, and I will have them in my description if I haven't already. And just click on their link and go subscribe to them. Thank you guys so much. So right on. So we're gonna end with my little fucking outro, dude. Where the fuck is it?
Blow your screen up if it's outro
All right.
time.
Yeah, I gotta do that. Let's do that. Solo.
boom.
Solo, boom, and bam. Oh, bam.
Classy. I like it.